Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. Welcome to Street Day 300 billion. I'm your host, and today, like I have been already today, I'm painting terrain. Welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for being here. Lovely to see you all. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Diadrin, Get Hucked, Bobbin, Dreadwoods, Glowdan. I hope you're all really well. Sundancer, what's going on? Dreadwoods, MJ Pexis, Nikki T. Williams, Sugo, thanks everyone for being here. If you listen to the podcast, it's just going to be me painting terrain today, so if this isn't one of those ones you want to listen to, I understand, but love you loads, and I hope you stay hydrated. What's going on? Smorgan in the chat. He is currently using my favourite coach in Age of Sigmar at the moment. That's right, the Black Coach. So looking forward to that. InfoStorms, thanks for resubscribing. I am, as you guys can see, painting terrain. This is one of the pieces of terrain for the board. I'll hold it up high so you guys can see. It is going to be a Tortle Mage's house when it's finished. There's some additional bits to be stuck on, but this is kind of the base. So I'm just banging on some base layers now while I talk to you guys. Going to be super simple, but it's a cool piece of terrain, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. Shouldn't be a long one, I think, getting this done. Hey, Militant Snowflake, what's going on? Dreadwoods, you don't want to leave this conversation alone, do you? Alright, let's jump into it real quick. What do we think about the 3 new roles at Games Workshop? So specifically, some roles have been advertised by Games Workshop, some new jobs have been advertised by Games Workshop specifically to do with Age of Sigmar. So they're either Warcry jobs or they're lead senior development jobs, whatever the hell lead and senior means. Made me chuckle a little bit. One of the jobs says that it would be working with the lead of product design and also the lead of game design or whatever. So I've always said 2 leaders are better than 1 leader, but 3 to 4 leaders make the best leaders. Took 2 crawlers today and you'll never guess. They fucked. Jen Smorgan. Smorgan. They do fuck super hard. No salary. Okay, so if anyone wants to know quickly something a little bit, I don't want to spend too long on it because it always feels like rhetoric in some ways. But I'll just spend some quick things talking about some stuff I know about the Games Workshop hiring process. Having hired someone, so Dan Bradshaw, I was intimately involved with hiring him into the team through the whole process, and I got taken through it all at the time. So they don't advertise salary, obviously. They ask you in the interview, or at least they did when I was there. And in the interview process I was part of, they ask you what you thought the salary was worth, which is really fucking dark. So then obviously they only pay you what you say, and then they base it on that, which is pretty rough. Jog PLC, big love to you. So they also don't hire. They also have to. I think they have to advertise a job role. So I think a lot of the jobs that we're seeing here is really they're just giving people new jobs. But like so, Jervis. Well. Someone, will be maybe sideways moving, because we know that him and Sam and some of the other rules writers all work in that area. So some of them might be going sideways, some of them might be getting a job promotion. I very much doubt they're going to be any external hire. Like if you're just some like lad who's like, oh, I'm going to apply for that, it's going to get me the job. Really, that's not the case. They're just publicly saying that they have to advertise. So that's it. Yeah, that is corporate bullshit. Thumbs down. Yeah. Hey, Shugo. The minimum wage job for minimum wage rules. 0-hour contract job. Anyway, what do I think about it? I think it's excellent that a much under-resourced department is getting more people working in those departments. I think that's brilliant. I think, I hope this means that we end up with, I don't know if it's a better game. The game's brilliant, man. Like, I don't know if it can be a better game. But how about more consistently good? How about more consistently good as a game? Which would be sweet. Yeah. Black Coat Sin, using it in Grand Alliance bin. Is that Winnie the Pooh's house? It could be Winnie the Pooh's house. I don't know. So I'm going to do a little mage is going to sit in front of it, and I've got a little magic pot that he's going to be doing some spells on. So when anyone walks up to this piece of terrain, I'll be like, I think you'll find that's going to give you -4 to hit or something. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, but I just want to make it a little bit of a scene, which I think would be nice, because the scenes are going to be outrageous. And if you attend an interview but you aren't successful, they won't tell you why. Just a wall of silence. MJ Pegasus, that is correct. That is 100% correct. Tristan, what's going on? Everything can be better. So sorry again. That's true. That is one of the things that I think you as a group and me as a person all understand, is that life, it's all well and good saying life is fine or the game is fine, but of course, life and the game can always be better. That is how things work. Everyone can be a little happier, everyone can be a little bit more comfortable, everyone can be a little healthier. That's all something we should always strive towards. So, I'm very happy that they're hiring for those roles and that they're putting more people into that team. I'm really excited for the game, and I'm most importantly excited for the people who already work there so that they get some much needed support. They're doing nothing but make money. So, having more people make them make money, great job. Yeah, they can afford a couple of 18 grand contracts or whatever the hell they're going to give. Top-down cam, we're on the right channel. I don't know, I just thought I'd treat you guys. That's what I thought. Hey, Kill Panic. What cool piece of terrain. I like the Zen approach to using the smallest possible brush to paint this stuff. Alright, why is everyone giving me shit? Like, this isn't that small a brush. What do you want me to use? Fuck, man. Everyone's a fucking critic, says I. Says I. Right. Some other exciting news, if anyone's interested, is I put out to tenure. That's 100%. I can't do an airbrush while I'm live, can I? So I'm painting. I'm painting. Does anyone want to see the other train I've done? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if you guys. I'll do a bit of show and tell. Get ready. We might need the big camera on for this. One sec. Oh, here we go. Right. Big show and tell. This is a big crystal. I think I've shown you guys before. You guys see that? Woohoo! It's pretty sweet. Max the base in. Let's go for big realm gate. There are 2 of the crystals and 2 realm gates. Big realm gate. Pretty cool. Really enjoying that. And then, so this is all for one board. And then, very quickly. Oh god, I just broke that. Some lakes. Oh, you can't see because it's the green screen. Some lakes and some crystals and stuff for some other bits of terrain. And then finally, the watchtower. So, like I've said before on the stream, like this is kind of a Lord Asriel style end of the world realm gate kind of board, and I'm going to put a wizard in there. So that board's done, which is nice. So that's one down, and a load of the other boards are kind of halfway finished. So I have been airbrushing, as you guys can see. So most of this board is mushrooms. This is the only. There are 2 buildings on this board. But most of them are like really big mushroom towers, which I'll show you on another stream another time. But just getting these bits done. Looking very dapper. Thanks very much. Who painted this for you? I painted myself, you fucks. Ultra President says, I heard you mention AOS 3 time to time. When do you think it will happen? I think it will happen in June or July. Is when I think it will happen. It's pretty much when it always happens. And I don't think they're going to move that schedule for anyone. Not gonna lie, these are extremely cool. Thanks, Kill Panic. They're also, I mean, they weren't super challenging to do. I think if I was gonna do it for, like, let's say, I know, a huge team tournament. Let's say Rob was gonna run a huge team tournament. I probably would only airbrush it, and I wouldn't go through the wash stage, which took way longer. The airbrush stage is quick enough, but still, those crystals are a nightmare to paint. But they're fun, really fun. Solid stuff. Great tower. Thank you. So good. Is Tom jealous of your crystals? He should be. He said he wants it to be his board. But one of the things I'm going to do on a later stream, and I've told you guys about this already, is when I've got them a little bit more sorted, we're going to do a stream where I'm going to let people like name it or name the pieces of terrain, because I think that would be quite cool. So like, I don't know how we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it via channel points. Maybe we'll do it by donations. I flipping know, like a bit of an auction. But not an auction, and people can name the board or the terrain or something, because I think that would be quite fun, and like that would be a little fun bit for us all to do. And then when we do live coverage, like, which will all be on the TSN stuff, It'll kind of like, we'll have named it all, which would be cool. Obviously not Terrain McTerrain Face. Obviously that's not okay. Oh wait, hold on. Let's get back to Peyton. Do you think Soup will survive the edition change? Do I think Soup will survive the edition change? Yes, I do think Soup will survive the edition change. I would argue that that is very likely. Yeah. I think I'm very, like, if anyone wants me to kind of put like any tentative feelers about my emotional feelings about a new Age of Sigmar, the answer is hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't think the game's stale at all. I think the game's great. It's in a really solid place. Like, it's very exciting. Did they fuck up between AOS 1 and AOS 2? Hugely. It was a massive clusterfuck as a release. However, am I tentatively, in fact, actually enthusiastically excited about a new edition of Age of Sigmar? The answer will be 100% yes. 100% yes. And that mainly is because what they've done with 40k is it seems to make sense as an edition at wholesale, and they seem to have a plan for it. And having a plan for it is better than what I think they previously had, which was no plan for it. So, excited. And as always, can we all just take a moment to celebrate Mo from MoComp, who gave us Age of Sigmar, because he's just a brilliant person. And again, I'm just going to shout him out one more time. Like, I know it's an old school shout out. If none of you know what I'm referencing, maybe someone can inform someone, but I was just thinking about it yesterday, and he should always be shouted out. He's a legend. All hail Mo. Have you not learned by now that letting the chat do stuff not necessarily the smartest idea? I have learned that. I have learned that. I have indeed learned that. But it's fine. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun naming a board, coming up with some cool story, and then that being something you guys see on the screen. Or if you happen to be local, or somewhere around the UK, or even if you travel over one day, maybe you get to play on these boards, which would be really nice. And I'm also really enjoying the process. I'd like everyone to know for doing the terrain. I wish I was rich enough, because I would 100% pay someone to paint my models. That would be my happy place. My hobby would be doing boards and terrain, playing games with models that are painted by someone else. Would be my happy place. And yeah. Any broad strokes guesses about it, or do you think it'd be 40k style, smaller armies? No broad style, no guesses apart from smaller boards. I think we've talked about that before, and more than likely, I think there'll be a coherency change in 40k, and I think there'll also be the stack cap. So -1 to hit will be like the maximum. I expect we'll see that on like to hit and to wound, and we probably will see it on saves as well. So like -1 to hit will be your maximum cap, but we'll see. We'll see. I think that's the right way to go about it. So from Monday, is the TSN Arena open again? Moobs, no, that is not allowed from Monday. That isn't. I don't think that fits into our time frame. I don't think it's okay. But it does mean that in May we can start running the Super Series again, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, looking forward to that. More on that in the future. Mo took me to brothel in Eastern Europe. That's my Mo story. Invented the game you love, took you to a brothel in Eastern Europe. I'm pretty certain Mo is the hero we all need. The original heart and soul of Age of Sigmar. Boo, you're so Tory. I'm not. I'm just following the rules, man. Like, as far as I'm aware, May the 14th in the UK is the first time we can open the venue for people to come inside. So, yeah, because it's not a shop. We don't run a shop. I don't have a shop. There's no shop. Like, I'm not going to start a tuck shop just so I can fucking... And also, not everyone's vaccinated. Like, so I'm not just opening it because I can. Like, I give a fuck about all of you. I'm not just being like, hello, let's all just have like a big fucking COVID party. No, it's like, just because the government says it's open doesn't mean the thing's gone away. I want everyone to be safe. Hey Gitley, my big wish is that it is no longer possible to target heroes, monster units, and missile weapons. Ooh, monsters? Are you mad? Of course, monsters, Prop Joe. But characters, maybe. I went in. I have a piece of his clothing and it barely fits small child. He also took me 10-pin bowling. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks, Get Hooked. Keep meaning to ask, what is the TSN Arena? Is it somewhere in Nottingham? It's where I am located. I will be making like a promo video when the place is fully done. And it's been worked on over lockdown by me and Fish and Nathan. So we're hoping, it's an 8-table gaming centre, I guess. That simple. I know that doesn't sound very big, but I guess the nice part about it is I'm currently live streaming from the commentary booth, and there's also a tech booth where we do all the camera work from. And 4 of the tables so far are completely cameraed up. And thanks to the Twitch chat last year, they've all got mic'd up tables and computers. So what we can do is when we do the Super Series, when we run 8 people playing over 4 tables, we can cover each table. But it also means in the future, when we run tournaments, we could either live stream the tables individually or live stream the whole tournament and jump between all 4 tables. We can record all 4 of those tables at the same time with player audio at the same time. So we have this thing on the TSM Patreon that all of those recorded videos will get uploaded there. And I know that's wanky because that's behind a paywall, but fucking gotta make money, man, because it's not cheap. And eventually all the equipment is going to break, so fucking life. And then, yeah, that's what the arena is, if anyone didn't know. And then eventually I'd like that to be 8 tables. So 8 tables. So then we could have like 8v8 man scrims, and we record all the games. So then you guys, I think Gitley was talking about wanting some Lumineth battle reports yesterday. I think that was one of the things he was talking about. So when we host a tournament at the weekend, the idea is, as if we have 16 people playing, 8, 16, 32, we'll be able to record 32 matches to completion with really good audio and good visuals, even if we don't live stream it. So you guys will have 32 matches to watch back. I know it's with player audio, but like eventually long-term plan, maybe we get enough money that we can then hire an editor, and then that editor's job is to like kind of break those down, which would be super fun. And then it kind of just like builds up and builds up. That's the idea for the arena. And then just live stream all the tournaments as well, and just say things like, "There's a guy on a rock." Even if you're vaccinated, you should still take precautions. Thanks, Hams fan. Can it be Fight Milk style promo video? Nikki DeWilliams, 100%. We also have a spaghetti policy, which is very important. Are you guys going to open a bar in the designated bar spot that came with that building? One day we will get a license, and we will also open the bar part of the building as well. So it's a very exciting future. I'm a little bit panicked and stressed because it's kind of a little bit beyond my organizational remit. As you guys know, I'm terrible at organizing. So that's panicky and makes me scared. But hopefully eventually we make enough money that we just hire a venue manager and then basically hire my boss. Just hire someone in charge of me. Like, Rob, this is happening this day. I'm like, fucking sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And I'll just turn up, fucking clock in, clock out, minimum wage, and off I go for my day. Lovely. That's what I want. Thanks, Tristan. Love you. Watching individual games of Age of Sigmar over the stream can be really slow and painful. Watching them after the fact and being able to talk to the highlights is what we need. Kids with SIDS, that's the plan, but it requires a lot to happen to make that happen, right? So, like, see, it's a full-time job. So I'm hoping eventually that becomes a full-time job for someone. That's the dream. And then we can record those individual games, and it becomes a whole ecosystem of producing content for people and producing like competitive content, both Age of Sigmar and 40k. And then it all just like spirals out of control, which is nice. Thank you, Kuro XX, for resubscribing. Let's go. Man, compared to my other armies, this Trogdor army I'm working on takes so little effort to build. It's going to take you a lot of effort to paint if you've never done that. Hire your own boss. I don't want to be the boss. I hate the boss. Da, 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 da. Anyway, what's everyone working on? Does anyone want to tell me some things? Interested to hear your thoughts. I'm not a visionary. I'm not. I just think it's the right way to do it. So can we talk about like battle reports for a moment? Because battle report guys work their balls off. So much effort. They make so much effort. Like, it's so hard, right? And their battle reports are like, they work so hard to make their battle reports good, and they gotta write their lists. They gotta play their lists. They've got to film it. They've got to edit it. It's so much work, yeah, to do one game. It's a load. So a much more efficient version of that is I get people in who know how to play their army, because that is a problem I find with some battle reports. Then we record their games, or we stream their games, and then everyone learns a little bit better. So, because who would you rather see play Mixed Death, for example? Because Smorgan's in the chat. Do you want me to play it, or do you want Smorgan to play it? Because I want Smorgan to play it. I want to film that and record that. But I don't really want to see him play Beast of Chaos, for example. I want to see Blagan or Colonel Cabbage or someone, play, like, if I like Osiarchs at the minute, Osiarch Bone Reapers, I want to watch Owen play Osiarch's Bone Reapers. I don't want to watch me play Osiarch Bone Reapers. And that's the trick, is getting the right people to play the right armies on the stream. I've seen Scrunny Hugh. I've seen your third stupid Dreadsaurian conversion. It's really stupid. It's a Dreadsaurian with Glottos or Scullion on the back. I think it's really good. Can we have a best battle report show a la the app reviews? Nah, man. I don't want to dog on other content creators. It's not fair, because I think that they're up against it. I think it's an old medium. I don't think it's the most effective medium or the most efficient medium. It's entertainment, not infotainment, or it's some infotainment. But I think realistically the best version of it is live stuff. Well, it's the thing I'm interested in. Maybe it's not even the best version. It's just unbiased, and that's what I like. So that's all I give a shit about. End convo there. Why aren't you using an airbrush? Because I'm on stream, and I'm doing fine. Look, I've almost finished while I'm talking to you guys. It's going really well. What's everyone give me shit for? We're so close. Look at that, looks lovely. I reckon I would get this done while, I've got 30 minutes. I'll fucking smash this out. Watch this. This is how you paint armies, lads. Yeah, this is the week before you decided you're taking a new army. That's what I am. I'm none of this fancy painting team. I am a Wargamer painter, which is it's getting it done. Getting it done, boys. I like the Winnie the Pooh terrain. I don't want it to be Winnie the Pooh's house. Fuck off. It doesn't look anything like it. Flip. I'm still painting. Right, I find battle reps unwatchable until they get entertaining hosts with good banter. They'll never secure viewers like me. Far too long between interesting moments. There are battle report versions where people break it down to smaller and smaller videos, which I completely respect and I think is also great as well. Played my first game of 9th the other day with my new Dark Eldar. Let's go Neural Shock. I bet you did really well. I could be Shrek's house. Can we make it Shrek's house, not Winnie the Pooh's house? Also, if it's Winnie the Pooh's house, we get banned in China, which we want to be banned in China anyway, because obviously the government there are terrible. I don't know if that gets me deplatformed, but it's just the truth. So, can we have a back to basics show to remind us how to play? K-Dread, yeah, man. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of interesting that the lockdown, at least for the UK, is going to coincide with Age of Sigmar 3 launch. It's around the same time, July time. So probably there's going to be very few opportunities to rep before the AOS 3 comes out. So I probably am not too interested in repping out any more AOS 2 until I get the opportunity to bang out the new system, and then I'm just going to play loads. That's going to be the plan. The views of the stream are not the views of the Twitch. Yeah. Verse 3 makes the board size smaller. How does that affect your terrain setup plan? Imagine I've already planned for it. Let's go for that. N.A. Brooks. Imagine I've already planned for it. Because I have. So, if the boards are smaller, so let's currently they suggest you take 10 to 12 pieces on a 6x4 board. You make the board 25% smaller. Then, because it is 25% smaller, it might not sound like a lot, but it's 25% smaller. Then you just do 25% less terrain. So I've done 8 pieces of terrain with an optional 9th piece of terrain for each board. That's what I've done. And that feels like a good amount. But obviously I've done some of them, as you can see here, on quite large bases. So this is one of the large pieces. This is a large base, so this building itself would be a garrisonable building, but then the terrain around it would provide cover. So there's quite a lot of nice, broad, flat surface there for cover, and there's also a nice piece of like terrain. And I think I've measured it right, and there isn't anywhere that's 3 inches that you can just, like, you have to like charge into the terrain, basically. So that's good. Rob, have you considered having an X-shaped ruin with obscuring for 40k? I've tried playing with it a few times. It's great fun. Have I an X-shaped ruin? Sergeant Rolf, I have not, but great idea. Thank you very much. An X-shaped ruin as opposed to an L. So, like, what volume of space does it take up? Like, did you make it take up, like... Oh, that's really interesting. No, I haven't thought about that. Thank you. But something to look at in the future. That'd be really cool. Do you think the double turn survives OS3? I know my locals all hate it and refuse to play. I very much hope so. I very much hope so. That's kind of my my one worry, but I'm pretty certain it will. Because it's fundamental to the game, and it makes the game better. Like, I'll argue against that all day long, and I've said that time and time again. It makes the game better, and it should be better. I want to paint some skinks in a colour that is not a standard blue. What would you pick? Says Glowdown. Oh, man. I've seen a lot of people do, like, pale skinks, so kind of like white, and do the scales a different colour. So that's quite cool. You could do, similarly, you could do, like, some dark skinks. You could do some, like, neon, kind of like the neon frogs. So a neon frog colour on top, so dark skin tones, and then a neon frog on top. The white ones are cool, though. I think they look quite fun. So, yeah. There's loads of options. I mean, you could just go for any colour. Like, they're lizards. Like, the best thing to do is just put, like, tree frogs or frogs into Google search. Look at the images, and there's loads of amazing colour combos. Black and yellow, obviously, is a really good one for, like, denoting danger. So that's cool. Is the reason for the base on the train so that it counts as a borderline for benefiting from the train keyword? Gorka Morka, that is correct. That is how that works. That is the point of the base on the terrain. So that is how I would do it, personally. Because then you know where you're at. So, piece of terrain, cover, you're on the sand. The building counts as garrisonable. It's really easy to see. You know what's going on. The mushroom counts as nothing. It's impassable. The mushroom is an indestructible mushroom that if you fuck with, you die. Why square and not round? Because, I don't know, I just did square. Maybe I'll do some... This is version 1 for the arena. Maybe in the future people are like, oh, I want round terrain. But it makes working out volumes a little bit easier because I'm dense. And I think it's fine. I think once you, like... spray it so it fits into the board. It looks nice. I have rounded the edges. Nick made me round the edges. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I think that works well. But some people I imagine will hate the square. Whatever. I want to cause a bit of drama. So there we go. That's fine with me. Careful not to overload the base on that terrain piece or you'll be left with a mushroom. Why do you play it on square tables and not circular tables? Great question. Great question. I do not know. I don't know. I've been looking at loads of people's boards of terrain at the moment, and it all looks like sparse. Is how I describe it. So I was mainly looking to create some big volumes of space, and I think cover's a cool mechanic. Like Vince was talking to me about it, and I agree. Like I think cover is actually a very cool mechanic, and getting +1 save is nice. But because terrain is never allowed near an objective, you're getting +1 save while you're like waiting to strike. You're in no man's land on a bit of terrain waiting to strike. So you kind of have, like, you aren't able to project power because you have to be holding a piece of terrain to get like the cover save. So you aren't able to project power unless you're a shooting unit off a piece of terrain. But I'm going to make most terrain obscuring. So if you draw a line 3 inches across, it blocks line of sight. And I think you'll end up with some really fascinating games via that. Or what's the Age of Sigmar version of it called? Overgrown. So same thing. I'm just gonna, and the fly keyword won't apply. Like you're not allowed to use the fly keyword, like to somehow ignore it because that'd just be dumb. So And of course, Sentinels will override that, but you can't like not produce some game effects because one unit ignores everything. It's just like, do you know what I mean? Otherwise, what's the point? I'll be like, cool, no rules. There are no rules. How do you know how many models can fit into a garrisonable terrain feature? So I chose large as being able to garrison 20 models, and then medium. So this would be large, because it's on a large base. Would be able to do well. Maybe I might make it medium actually, because it's not the whole base. Whereas the tower, I'll give you some examples. I know this might seem a bit counterproductive or counterintuitive, but let's see what you guys think about this. This is kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. So, huge building. I would say that this is a large garrison and can fit 20 models in. And then this, I would say, is a medium building. Maybe can only fit 10 in. But just simple like that. Large or medium. Large, 20, medium, 10. Maybe they'll make that large, but I don't know. 10 Chaos Warriors in there would be pretty rough. And then models, obviously, I think I'd cap it at like 1 or 2 wounds. So 2 wound models. What 3 wound models are there that you'd want to put in a piece of garrisonable terrain? 3 wound models. None of them. None. They can all fuck off. Like 1 and 2 wound models only. Like not 3 wound models. Or 4 wound models. So you're not going to have like 6 Varangard in a piece of garrisonable terrain. Brutes. Brutes is a good example. 3 wounds. 1, 2, or 3. Or capacity would be amount of wounds up to 3. I don't mind. Again, a garrisonable piece, because terrain is never near an objective. If you get inside a garrison, that's fine. Because yeah, your unit's like tough as nails, but like I wouldn't obviously let monsters in there. Gobblepalooza has 3 wounds. All right, Lekka, then you've convinced me. In which case, 3 wounds is allowed. But then, my point is that because a garrison would never be near an objective, because you can't place terrain within 6 inches of an objective, you wouldn't be able to be near an objective to score an objective because you're garrisonable terrain. So garrisons sound good on paper. You're like, oh, you can put a unit in there and they're -1 to hit and +1 save. But actually, if you look at the board space, they're not near anything to capture anything. So, whatever. It's fine. 5 wound heroes. But 5 wound heroes, oh, interesting. Interesting. I had not thought about 5 wound heroes. Thanks, guys. This would be one of those things that came up. 5 wound heroes inside a garrison. I guess so. But then what do they count as? Count as 10 models? Count as 5 models? Count as 5 models, I guess? That's a great question. Can faction trains be near objectives? No, of course not. Not within 3 inches of an objective. But, yeah, not within 3 inches of an objective. That reminds me, I need to see what the Shrine Luminor does. Yeah, how about amount of wounds a model has? It's how many space the garrison it takes up. That's interesting. I think. I don't mind, like, I think 10 Saurus Warriors or 10 Chaos Warriors, or even 20 of those two can get inside a garrison. That doesn't stress me out. That seems to make sense. And they, like, how do they not take up the same rough space as 20 Free Guild Guard? Maybe? I don't know. I need to nail that out. I have written it out somewhere, but the 5 wound character thing I hadn't thought about at all. I think you should be able to put a character inside a building. That seems fine to me. I don't know what you guys think. Because then you can't do abilities from outside of a building, from inside a building, right? You can't cast spells and stuff. So it really makes the character a lot worse. And you can't measure ranges from a character from inside a garrison either. So way worse to have a character inside a building. Wound count, no monsters. I'm sure that's far more abusable, and I don't want to see eels inside a building or gore grunters inside a building. I'm not into that. Like, I don't want to see Varangard inside a building. So, you could give Garrison a number of hero spots. That's a good idea. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys. Oh, it's really nice of you. Great questions. Something really for me to think about. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So that's fun. I just want to make it so that it makes loads of sense for people playing. It's a tactical experience. It's fun. I'm not messing around with any of the core rules. I'm just designing a nice board, a board and table that is interactive and fun. It doesn't break any kind of the immersion of a game, but similarly is just gives you some more options to play. I think that's what we're all looking for from a game, really. And then also, on top of that, a bit of story. I know, because we're a narrative channel. Oh, fuck. I haven't made it. You haven't seen me paint it all the time. Does this mean my mages can't cast from their Shrine Luminor as they are garrisoned in that? They are able to do the command ability, but unless anyone's got the garrison key rules, I don't think you can cast a spell while inside a garrison. Pretty certain. Unless anyone wants to check for me and I'm wrong. But, yeah. Gorgrunts in houses is clearly a narrative choice. Chris CB, I agree. I don't know what I'm thinking about. We should just flip it all on its head. Monsters only. Do ogres get a benefit to that piece of terrain you're painting? Do they get... Okay, fine. We're going to make it an ogre board, if this is how you guys are going to be. For fuck's sake. Get off my swamp! Vote now whether or not I should put a get off my swamp sign on the building. You guys get to decide right now via yes or no's. Get hooked. Do you know what? Let's go find out right now instead of half-arsing it. Let's go find out. Let's go to our favorite Russian website. And then let's go search for something. Core rules. Right. Damn it. This is going to take ages. Yes, hell's yes. I vote for a hoodie side. I model it as Banging Dragon. Core rules say that you can do anything except move and measure ranges from the building itself. But if you can't measure... right, hold on. Shooting phase. Where's terrain? Roll battle, Romscape features. It's in here somewhere. 1 second, guys. Units of garrison terrain feature are removed from battle and assumed to be inside the terrain feature. Okay. Show me where. Where does it say? If anyone's can find the link in the chat, that would be great. Needs an outhouse. Oh, God. Fine. I'll do an outhouse, I guess. That works. This is where I'm looking for my rules, by the way, everyone. Right here. So, War Scrolls, Allegiance abilities, Battle begins, reserves, rolls, tools of war. Terrain. Got it. Right. Garrison. Some features can be garrisoned by units. When this is the case, it will be noted on the War Scroll for the terrain feature. A unit can be set up as a garrison at the start of a battle if the terrain feature is wholly within the unit's territory, which is a cool feature. Alternatively, a unit can garrison a terrain feature instead of making a normal move if all models within 6 inches of the terrain feature and there are no enemy models within 3 inches of the terrain feature already garrisoning it. Okay. Units that garrison a terrain feature are also removed from the battlefield and assumed to be inside the terrain feature. Units must treat terrain feature garrisoned by the enemy as if it were the enemy model, so it becomes the enemy model. The range and visibility to or from the garrisoning unit is determined to or from the terrain feature instead. Garrisoning model can attack and be attacked, cast or unbind spells, wow, and use abilities, but cannot move. Okay, a garrisoning unit counts as being in cover if it's attacked, in addition to subtract 1 from the hit rolls. A garrisoning unit can leave in your movement phase. When it does, set up so that all models from the unit are within 6 inches terrain feature and 3 inches away from enemy units. Okay, that's cool. So you can cast or unbind spells. You can attack and be attacked, and use abilities but cannot move. Okay, that's cool. So it basically becomes your model. So thanks everyone for that. So fun. So you definitely can cast spells from it, which would be cool. So putting heroes inside it is more of an important question than less of an important question. Okay, flippity flip flip. Okay, I'm on it. I'm on it. So it means you can use command abilities from inside the terrain feature as well. That's nice. Very strong. Very strong. Having some command abilities on the board then is good. I think. All right, you guys want me to put a load of rubbish on. You know, you know how many pieces of terrain I've got to paint. I don't have time for you guys' shenanigans in this situation. It's just getting the job done. Maybe later on we'll do some weird and wonderful additions to the board. But right now, it's just getting as much painted as possible. This is the current scheme. So yeah. But I don't think we're able. I thought we would be able to run events from May here in the UK, but I don't think we can. I think realistically, the first time we can run an event legally is June. We can run Super Series because it's 6 people, but we can't run like 16-man events. It's a bit of a shame, but that's okay. That's fine. Means goading arrogance from a Cathalet in his shrine is very possible, JP. That is a really good point. That is a very good point. And that Luminor realm, wow, the realm feature for Lumineth Realm Lords is huge. If you guys haven't seen it, massive footprint. I'd be very tempted to put in the pack that it replaces an existing piece of terrain, very much like a lot of the packs are putting in for oh god, what's it called? For the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, the tower thing. You know what? That's a good way. Hey, Forks Art. I like the idea of Garrison Pete. Like, I don't think that garrisoning is a terrible idea at all. Because, like I've said, if it's nowhere near an objective, like, what are you really gaining from being in the garrison? I think it's a cool feature, and it is fun to do. I definitely think that. I love shenanigans. Gus the Hutt, I do love shenanigans. It means several players who ally in raptors and get them into the ziggurat can get in the sea. They can. They can get in the sea. They really can. I love the allied in raptors in Seraphon armies. It's just going all the way in. Oh, fuck. What was I about to say then? Something was relevant based on what you guys said. And Maw Crusher can sadly never be wholly within 6 inches of it. We just don't put Maw Crushers in. Like, there should be no monsters can go inside. It's an obvious lurker frag. Second jab was yesterday, not me on my ass. I hope you're well and okay. Why not delete faction terrain from the game? That's the question, Nick. That was the point. I think a good, quick answer to the boats from Ideneth Deepkin is that they just replace some terrain that's already on the board. What do you guys think of that? That is a nice, quick answer I've just hit on. We already do it with the Ossiarch Bone Reaper's terrain piece. That means that they're not using it to move block. They can still have their 2 pieces of terrain on the board. That's really nice. Thank you, Magic Horn. That is something I really feel I should have thought of like 2 years ago. Yes, Sylvaneth can then Wildwood. Shugo, I agree. I think there should really be some effort to make the Wildwoods work via some sort of comp. And I think a Wildwood replacing a piece of terrain is a great idea. Garrison a piece of terrain with a hero can make some wholly within bubbles massive. I agree with you there, Pete. I do. I'm not saying it's the perfect answer, but there you go. Easy to do, but could hamper some armies. What armies would what hamper? Oh, deleting faction train. Yeah, we can't do that, Nick. I know you hate it because you're an Age of Sigmar first stager. we gotta keep it in the game, bro. Sorry. Yeah, that's a great answer to the fucking boats I've just come up with. There we go. That's a quick and easy solution. Get that in the terrain in the TO packs. Let's go. That's going to be straight in there. I think I'd do the same with the Luminor as well, to be honest. And I think maybe generally a good idea would be to have your faction terrain piece replaces a piece of terrain on the board. Is a really nice, quick way of making it so that the board isn't over flooded with terrain pieces, and they're put in very specific places. I like that a lot. Imagine having to replace something useful with a Loot Shrine. They're very useful. See you later, Smorgan. Loads of love and hope you're well. I mean, narratively, since we're a narrative channel, the piece is overgrown and reclaimed by the wilds. Sticky a big tree on it. Yeah, should go. I agree. What if we just make all the faction trainers useful as the LR Webway in 40k? That's too useful. That's what I'm going to say. Anyway, look at this. We're doing well. What do you think? Shrek's house is a go. Jesus, so mean about Shrek's house. We're doing quite well. An airbrush probably would have been quicker. Probably. I don't need that from you guys though. So, like, and I can't do it on the stream. Oh, can't do it on the stream. So I've airbrushed a load of other stuff so I can paint it on the stream, like in the detail work while I'm doing the stream. That has to be a thing. Imagine having to what? It's Rabbit's house from Winnie the Pooh. It is Rabbit's house from Winnie the Pooh. It looks good. Is it actually Rabbit's house? I need a picture. I think it looks cool. I think it looks cool. And I'm going to make it all like twisted and gnarly. I'm going to stick loads of tufts on it at some point and make it like all spooky. And then maybe stick some, it's got some like chimneys. Can you see the chimneys? Oh, you guys can't see the chimneys. Might produce some smoke pouring out of that. So that would be quite cool. I pictured it as like a witch's house. Like a hag or something. I never pictured it as Winnie the Pooh. My airbrush compressor should be here in a couple of weeks. Never used one before. You've got it, Forks Art. Love your Marines. They look great. If anyone wants to go and check out Forks Art, she does some amazing painting. And her Marines look really magnificent. I'm a big fan. Wouldn't that be great? Buff Lariel, -1 CP, replace another terrain piece with a Wildwood. Any of your Sylvaneth troops holding 18 its turn, run in charge. That would be cool. That would be very funky. See, what's interesting about the conversation about faction terrain and Sylvaneth and all of this is that it becomes relevant when you treat the terrain on the board as relevant. As soon as you don't treat terrain as relevant and it's not really a part of like your pack or how you think about the game as a wholesale kind of piece, it's irrelevant that while like you're like, oh, you can't put your Wildwood down. I don't like give a fuck. Like, but as soon as it becomes relevant, it's a good conversation. Looks to, I'm also okay. All right, what is that brown? Oh, I am using Vallejo model brown. Flat brown is the brown I'm using. I think it's a really nice brown. It goes on really well. Paint's super nice. Big fan. In fact, I'm into a lot of Vallejo paints at the minute. I just think the quality is really good. The consistency is really nice. I've never had any problems with it. I find the army painter stuff is kind of better for thinner jobs. Not for this. It's not quite. Like I think they say that it's intentionally thinned down. So I find I like the army painter stuff for some things, and I think it's like a thinner paint. And I really like the Vallejo stuff for. I mean, obviously you can thin down this Vallejo stuff. I'm not saying it's thick by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a really nice finish, and I'm a big fan. And then I've just got some like really like awful brushes from Amazon that like literally were pennies. And using that for terrain, not using any like nice fancy brushes for doing it. Personally, I don't like how every rock and tree is mystical or deadly. Sometimes a shrub should just be a shrub. That makes sense. Mystical terrain table is a common thing, but then even the sand in Age of Sigmar isn't just sand; it's realm sand. But I guess that's the difference between the very, very magical world of Age of Sigmar and maybe more like not quite as fantastical places that we get in other universes and fandoms. 6-up shrub. I'm 100% making a bit of terrain that's all shrubs now and just putting a rule in that it gives you a 6-up DPR when you're near it. 100% doing that. No. If they gave Severith the ability to shut down enemy scenery, that should be Sylvaneth's thing. Just reclaim stuff. Sorry if I'm harping on about it. Sylvaneth are my first love, and I hate that I can't use them that well. Hey, Sugar, same boat. The reason we're having the conversation, the reason that I'm just mentioning it now, I'm pretty certain, like, it already came up the other day. I can't remember who mentioned it. If it was Pete or one of you guys in the chat mentioned it, and you were like, look, Sylvaneth terrain, like, you can't put it, I don't know what the current rules are, if you put it wholly within X, or you can't put it wholly within X. I'd just be like, you can put it right next to other terrain. Like, button up to. Not within an inch, I'd be like, right next to other terrain, is how I would describe it and what I would use it for. Already, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Sylvaneth terrain should be far more usable than it currently is. Because it's their core mechanic. And so that's a really nice way of like lifting the power level of the army and just readdressing how that terrain is done, because no one's really having that conversation. But then we're not really playing for it to be an issue, I guess. Although, obviously, Hammer Time, Owen Jackson's event, has sold 100, or sold, it's free, has put 100 players playing. So, if you guys are looking forward to, want to do some TTS gaming, then you should. Also, the first intercontinental game for the Honest Wargamer hosts happened last night between Darren and Nathan. It took about 8 to 9 hours for them to get the computer machines to work. And it's very funny, very, very funny. Would anyone like to hear Nathan and Darren? Would you like to hear the conversation between Nathan and Darren setting up their TTS game? It's a nice, fun way to end the show, I think. So let's do that. I think you guys should enjoy this a lot. Hold on. Okay. A lot of messages. Right. So, let's go for this. Darren sends a picture of his models.
Cool. Where am I headed?
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to follow that link on my phone. Where do I go on Discord?
Okay, good start. Darren's not sure where to go. Then some pictures. Yeah? And then Darren being like, Nathan, where are you? Okay. Still no. Nathan, I'm in Discord table 1. Okay. Question mark from Darren.
I'm there. I can't see anyone. I'm in the Honest Wargamer. Are you not there? What one am I supposed to be heading to?
Then from Pete, trying to help them out. You need to join the server that was set up for the event, Darren. Nathan, I use this. Colonel Cabbage, you can find the Honest Wargamer or the Hammer Time channel. Nathan, hey, join me on Discord. Here's an invite. Yeah? Darren.
I don't know why people keep sending me links that I can't use on my
phone. Eventually, Darren and Nathan are in the same Discord room. It's happening. Darren.
That is me. I can't fucking hear anything. And I can't tell if anyone can hear me. Oh, fuck me, I hate this.
Right, then Darren says, can you hear me, Nathan? Nathan.
Hi, Darren. Yeah, I'm in there. My headphones are working and everything. No, I can't hear you.
Okay, Nathan can't hear you. There's the drama. This is so far has taken a total of 15 minutes so far. This is where we're up to. Then there is a picture of tech support. And then here's from, so then Darren's not sure his output's working. This from Nathan.
Are you using it on your computer machine or on your telephone machine?
Okay, and then
I heard you briefly.
Okay, good.
I'm using it on my computer machine.
John Scrivens, are we streaming it shortly? I at home, no fucking way am I getting involved in this. This is not what I'm doing. This is too much for me. Pete, how do you hear audio connecting out of your computer? Speakers or plugged in?
Fucking I've got no idea, Pete. It just happens. From the PC or the telly, I'd imagine.
Is your mic turned on?
Which is fucking rich of Nathan Prescott giving technical advice. After all these years, I want to let everyone know. Right, so where are we now? We're now 25 minutes in. Yeah, loads of people still trying to help. And then I think they got started. 25 minutes in is where we got to, and they did a great job, I think. And not to spoil the results, but there is a victor. So there we go. Can we watch this game? It was streamed. I don't think it was recorded. I don't think they had the technology. And honestly, it's so fun that we're all playing these games, and that Dayton and Pete and all the guys have like set it all up. So we're all having a load of fun, and we've got some matches. Me and Owen have got a match on. Looking forward to it loads. The concept of trying to stream all of our games, nightmare situation. because we're all busy and all around the world. So it's just meant to be for us and have a laugh. But I'll let you guys know. Oh, thanks to Chris Frostrin for raiding the channel with 14 people. First time we've been raided. If you don't know, Chris Frostrin's a lovely fella. He's a photographer, miniature painter, and a miniature printer. If you guys want to go check out his YouTube channel, not YouTube channel, Twitch. Really nice fella, very tall, like perversely tall. But like he makes it work for him. Like, you know, he's got a keen eye, and he's just a lovely fella. So if you guys want to follow him, then that's fun. I don't know how to defend, and you can't defend, so that's it. If you guys are interested, I'm painting up some terrain for the venue, which I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. And generally, talking shit is where I'm at. If you guys are interested, if you're not, that's so okay. It's the worst thing because we've been raiding all these channels, right? Which has been really fun, and you can feel them a bit flummoxed. They're like, "What do I do? What do I do?" Which is really fun. I quite like it. But you can't flummox me, you bitches. Bobbin, I don't know if he's as tall as you. Bobbin, 6'9". Chris Frostrin, how tall are you? Thanks, dude. It's been playing Blood Bowl on stream. Thought I'd pass on the viewers to you talk shit. Thanks, man. Hey, everyone. What the fuck were those Russians about yesterday? I do not know. I do not know. But if you weren't here yesterday, we raided some Russians who I think were making scrambled egg, just in an apron. It was a whole vibe. I think that's how I'm going to do painting tutorials eventually when I get round to them. It's just going to be me in an apron. That's it. Tape over my nipples. I watched them for a while. Oh god, the Russians. You tell me about it. It was so good. So good. I love Twitch. I love I don't love like the company, but I like what it is. That it's all these people communicating with people all over the world. Like you guys communicating with me, and then we can go communicate with others. I think it's brilliant. I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer, just because I'm nearly finished, and you guys are going to dog on me if I don't at least finish the brown. So, screw you. I'm on it. It was pretty disturbing, but I wish I knew what they were talking about. Or were those guys twins? I think they might have been twins. I don't know. Like, twins are creepy, aren't they, eh? Like, it's just a general, broad statement. If you're not a twin, twins are creepy as hell. I'm just going to put that out there in the world as a vibe. And if you don't like it, I know that might be twinist, but I'm saying it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Their hair. They had great hair. I've got twins. Says Stu Redacted. Are they creepy, Stu? Your kid's creepy. I did like this streamer, but then he kept asking if my kids were creepy, and I decided not to fucking talk to him anymore. They are the goblins that know you were sweary Rob. Oh, nice. Hey to the goblins. What up to you? Yes. Oh, now they're my faves. They can stay forever and ever. Mine are non-identical, so less creepy. Yeah, that is less creepy. Not that I've already said they're creepy now, so it's too late. Miss your random hilarities, Rob. Thanks, Chris. Big love. What are you painting at the minute, Chris? Let's find out. Chris has normally painted some really nice stuff, really well, for far too long. Like 13 hours on like a model, like makes me want to cry. I've already spent too long on this model. Let's be real, lads. This is already too long. Rob's painting Winnie the Pooh house. I'm not. This isn't what it is. This is not what it is. It's a. Oh god, fine. It's Winnie the Pooh's house, and it's gonna just stay as is. I really like this. I think this is a cool building. Next time, tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing. One day this week, I'll show you the rest of this board. I kind of don't want to show it all off on stream because I'm trying to make some videos for it, but it should look cool, I think. Because I've still got stuff to do. The purple board I showed you guys earlier. I've got to do like some tufts and stuff, but no one's got tuft money. Like, do you know how much tufts are? Oh, that's when you know you've made it. If you see some big baller turn up at the table and he's just got his base covered in tufts, you're like, oof, you've got big tuft money. Ho-ho! That is where the real money is at, in my opinion. Because they said that Evergreen boat that got stuck in the canal, they were like, this is full of billions of dollars worth of product. I was like, it's probably just full of tufts, if I'm honest. It's probably where all the money is. I'm not printing a Winnie the Pooh. Fuck's sake. Maybe you get sponsored, like Jay over. What does sponsored mean? That Jay fella's really nice. The guy from Mohawk Miniatures, really nice guy. I really like him. He's a sound dude. I just bought $70 worth of tufts from Huge Minis. See, tuft money, Neural Shock Dubs. You got tuft money. You're into it. I am sponsored, so I get good tufting. How do you get sponsored for tufts? Wow, can't believe you get sponsored tufts. That's pretty impressive. Tufts, you need to check out Craft Scenics then. Gem is doing them super cheap. They're lovely. Okay, let's go find that out now. Crafts. Is it Crafts Scenics? Let's go find out what these look like. There we go. They're still pricey, man. Wait, hold on. Let me see what you got. What the actual web? Have you got a link to the website? Send us a link. That's the one. Rival Crafts. Luke at Geek Gaming is a good dude. Oh no, people can tuft me for free. Oh, thanks, Sugo. Sugo, just join Patreon. Use that to get tufts. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's super helpful. Thank you so much. Mainly pay rent is what that'll pay. But that's really impressive. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone. Great opportunity for me to thank everyone on Patreon. You're all wonderful people. And thank you for being you. I hope you enjoy the content I make. And I do a good job for the community. Crafty Scenics. Thanks. £3.80 for some tufts. See, it's still not a lot of tufts, is it? 53 tufts. Maybe I don't understand the process for what it takes to create tufts. But oh, this website's nice. Rival Crafts. Ooh, look at those. Some pink tufts, flower tufts. Oh, I like these thistle tufts. I'm into them. How much do they cost? £9. No, £7 for 12 tufts. Oh my god. Those are large tufts, though. I want smaller tufts. I'm going to try and say the word as much as possible to annoy you all. Okay, so 12 dark thistle tufts. Oh no, not 12. Dark 12mm. And they're £7. It's not bad, but you would probably need, like, at the minute, each board is costing me about £80. Just so you guys, like, just to, like, lay it out for you guys. It's about £80 to £90, depending on exactly how much I've used to produce a board of terrain, and that includes basic material and paints. That's what I'm putting in. So, not massively expensive, but, like, not, like, I mean, still pretty expensive, right, when you're doing 8 boards. Still a fair whack of money. And would be a lot more expensive. But then that would be sticking. I mean, even if I bought 2 packs of tufts, that would put them in the more like 120 category. But probably worth it. Probably worth it. So that's something I'll do in the future, I think. I've got purple fluffs there. It's fucking simple. Get PVA glue, static grass, and some electricity. That's the expensive part. Getting electricity. Not doing anything with electricity. Are you real? Not much static grass applicator, PVA glue, and a sheet to put the stuff on. Where did you get the models for those terrain bits? You're talking about these ones? So this actually is from My Mini Factory. So they have done a pledge with a bunch of mushrooms on. And a bunch of other, like... So this is actually resin, as opposed to this being a PLA print. So this is a 2-part PLA print. So that's... And I got that from... The house was from Printable Scenery. Printable Scenery is where... So most of the Age of Sigmar stuff is going to be from printablescenery.com, is where those STL files are from. And most of the 40k files are from Sacrus Munda, which is a designer who has a My Mini Factory site page and also a Patreon, who I signed up for. And his stuff is really good for 40k stuff. Excited to show you the 40k terrain at some point. Yeah, so, and also that cost for doing a board of terrain doesn't include labour. and then the price for each board goes through the roof. So it's a real passion project, getting terrain done. And then planning to do it for large-scale events, oh boy, that is another level, and also another level of cost. You 100% can tell why huge events just use like foam or whatever else that they use. Everyone else now flashing their tough stock, and I thought we were in a financial crisis. My time is free. My time is free, so that does help out with the cost, obviously. But at some point you have to factor that in, right? Because that's work you could be doing for something else, I guess. Which is why I'm painting on stream, right? Because I'm doing a stream at the same time I'm getting the job done. So I'm doing 2 things at once there, which is kind of nice. Anyway, I've done all the brown. More colours to come. Got the stone to do. But I got it done, so I'm happy with that. So there we go. And if you don't like it, well, then tough. And I'll show you more pictures as we go forward. But really good. And move over to crypto. Tufts is the future. I stockpiled Tufts when we couldn't get loo roll. The Tuft economy. Right, okay. Let's go do a raid. You guys are great. Thanks very much. Don't forget to join me, Nick, and Tom, and Logan tomorrow night. We're going to be talking 40k. I'm obviously live tomorrow day as well, but I think I'm just doing more terrain painting, if I'm honest, guys. But I might get a guest on to yammer with me while we do it. Let's go do a raid. That's what we should do. This will be fun. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys today, so thank you very much. You're fun. You're really cool to hang out with, and it makes me really happy. So just want to say a big thank you. You guys get to choose. I like them rounding corners. Nick, I already said this was a Nick decision. Rounding corners, Nick decision. Right. So, who do you want me to raid? Let's raid a Warhammer person. That always makes us happy, right? We did a weird one yesterday, so let's go raid someone who's having a good time. Somewhat French. What the hell? Warhammer Wednesday finally finished. This guy looks like a fun guy. The Ginge 66. Let's go raid this fella and make him happy. Let's go. Latuft. Raid a small one. They're the best. Foxart, you're the best. Let's go do this. Warhammer TV. They're not live. You can't raid Warhammer TV. Also, I don't think you can raid them anyway. I think they have that turned off as a feature. Right. There's a raid. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining me today. Thanks to everyone on the podcast for listening, if you have. Thanks to everyone on YouTube, and thanks to everyone on Patreon. You're all wonderful people. Couldn't do this without you. Looking forward to hosting events, running events, and this becoming a permanent community where we can meet up in future, hang out. Henry Steele in the chat. Fuck yeah. See you guys soon. Have a nice day. Good. Bye.